What lake are we
We're
on?
on Lacamas Lake.
And
Lacamas Lake, we're near Camas, Washington, which is kind of the eastern part of the county of where we live, Clark County, Southwest Washington. So.
And it's only about, what?
40-some degrees. It's not too bad, but it's windy.
Windy. And we had 3 inches of snow at our house yesterday.
Yeah.
So hopefully you can hear us through the wind because it's really windy.
Oh, well.
But it's March, so we shouldn't be surprised at the crazy weather, right?
Well, you know, when you think about it, you know, they might hear the wind in the air right now, but typically they hear a lot of wind anyhow because we're full of hot air. So, you know, we're blowing hot air.
Yeah,
yeah,
there you
right.
go.
Okay, speak for yourself. You
Old
say
man
that.
joke.
Okay,
Yeah.
I had to do it. I had to do it. Anyhow, we're standing on a little platform in the middle of the lake, surrounded with cedar trees and down trees. It's really pretty.
It's beautiful.
So anyhow, what did you want to talk about? What did you want to tell these people? What I've been kind of, you see this railing behind us. I saw somebody's inscription, Boo Boo and Bija or something like that, or Biba. It's kind of like Boo Boo and.
Are you going to inscribe our initials here?
Yeah. Squirrel Girl and Action Man or something. Yeah.
Oh, I'm surprised you shared what that is.
Yeah,
that's
that's very
secret.
intimate. Yeah. If you really want to know,
No, we don't share that with anybody.
Okay,
so.
that's private. Sorry. Take that back.
Well, a couple of things we wanted to share. It is March 16th?
It's March
15th.
2020.
So we're starting this lockdown thing with this virus. So we're just praying and hoping that you guys are safe and that, as we all know, washing your hands, keeping the distance, and hopefully this will pass soon.
Okay.
So in the meantime, though, if you're in quarantine or working from home, I mean, that can bring up in a marriage some stress, right?
Yeah, your social distancing just shrunk with you and your spouse.
So I guess just to be able to say, to encourage you guys to
no marital distancing.
Yeah.
Keep it close.
And show grace, right? Because you might be getting under each other's nerves.
Yeah.
Or skin or
Skin,
whatever you do.
something like that, right.
Yeah.
For sure.
Anything else on that?
Well, no, not really. I think it's just, if you can, make it as positive as possible and look on the bright side. This thing will eventually pass. We got a very nice email from one of my sons who's a doctor, and he has some friends that are with, the National Health Organization, CDC and EIEIO and all that. And it's just really, seriously, it's pretty simple. Don't go anywhere if you don't have to. Wash your hands a lot. And
so we're getting outside in the fresh air to get a walk in and not touching anybody.
Right.
So
don't touch anything. So and if you do, wash your hands or whatever. You know the drill. So.
Yeah. So last week we did we're starting these marriage boutique experiences, and it was really cool. We did coffee and couples at a coffee shop.
Yeah, we had about 12 couples.
Yeah, intimate setting,
Yeah.
and we had the best time. We shared the wall and Fred, and a lot of young couples there. And I guess our passion now is to really take our marriage message out into the community to help strengthen marriages everywhere. So this was our coffee shop one, and then we have one called Marriage in Merlot, which we'll do in wineries and tasting rooms.
And then hopefully we'll find a brewery or a pub that'll let us do a thing called Beer and Your Babe.
Yeah.
Yeah, we shared the ideas with the couples that were in the session, and they all were like, yeah, let's do that one too. So.
And we're not promoting drinking.
No.
That's not our passion here.
No.
But we know that people that go to wineries and breweries are married too, right?
Yeah, I hope
married
so.
people there.
I hope so. Yeah, there are. They're everywhere.
So that's where we want to go. So if you know anybody who owns a pub, winery, whatever, and wants to support marriage, have them give us a call. We'll fly anywhere to do it.
Yeah, sure. For a cup of coffee or a glass of Merlot, or I do prefer Blue Moon though. If I'm going to have an ale or a beer, it's going to be Blue Moon.
Okay,
so,
well,
anyway.
I like it too.
Yeah. So anyhow, kicking off season 2 of our podcast as well. We've got a couple that are with the engineer editor right now, and an actual interview that we had opportunity to do with Gary Chapman, who wrote The 5 Love Languages, and our friend Ron Deal, who just co-authored a book called, what was it again?
Building Love.
Building Love in a Blended Family. So it was really a neat interview to meet with them. Such gracious men to do that. So kind of look for that one. It should be getting out on our podcast, hopefully here in the next week or so. And then we've got a couple of others that are in the can, so to say.
Yeah.
coming out with regards to, things that cause us to hesitate to invest in our marriage and such. So season 2 of the podcast is about ready to kick off. So keep your eyes open for that.
Yeah, so the idea, I think what kind of prompted the hesitation of investment was just a promotion we were doing for this last Coffee and Couples. I really sensed a hesitation in a lot of couples of not wanting to do it. And we thought, well, is it because it's at a coffee shop and they're not coffee drinkers, although you can get tea and whatever. But just a sense of people hesitating to be in an environment where they need to talk about their marriage. Not need to, but I mean, our passion is, what we do is we have fun with it. Those of you that have been with us hopefully had fun with us.
Yeah, marriage is supposed to be enjoyable.
Yeah, so I was just really sad at some of the reaction I got as I talked to people and inviting them. I just felt a sadness that like they didn't want to talk about marriage just in general because maybe they're not in a good place. And that just, I don't know, it just makes me sad because I know we all have seasons where we're, not in a good place. But that's a time where you want to, gather information so that when you are in a good place, you'll be ready to talk about it.
Yeah, and the feedback that you got already from some of the people that you emailed, the attendees, kind of talk about that a little bit. You're drawing a blank.
No, well,
you're the one that got the
email.
email.
Just that they enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So, and we knew that when people came, they would enjoy the experience, not so much because of what we're doing, but just giving a platform. And we said right off, we're not doing any deep conversations here. This is all shallow.
Yeah, surface.
It's
yeah.
surface.
You take your deep conversation home.
Yeah.
We don't want you doing it
so
here.
So I can see the defenses kind of come down, people more comfortable. And that's our hope. It's just like for people to realize, to hear other people talk about their marriage and be encouraged.
But when you think about it, maybe when we do Marriage and Merlot, and if they've had a few glasses of wine, they'll really start open up. Maybe they would. Yeah, so if you really want to learn something deep about you bring them to the winery.
Yeah.
That could be fun. Yeah.
Anyway,
but one of the other couples, it was kind of cute because we started having our bickering thing over the wall to make the point of where's the wall, not behind it, and we started talking about my complaint is sometimes how I want to connect with you, but sometimes you're on Facebook.
Yeah.
And that really struck a chord with another couple. So kind of talk about that one.
Yeah, the guy pulled me aside afterwards and said, I'm trying to talk to my wife, ask her a question.
How did you know?
Yeah. And she's on her Facebook and she doesn't answer my question. And then a few minutes later, I'll ask her, so what's your answer? And she's like, well, I answered you.
No, you didn't.
And he's like, no, you didn't.
No, I didn't hear a word.
And she's like, oh, I answered you in my head, but I forgot to,
Yeah.
So good coaching question. So how can you make that interaction a little bit more positive? And she's like, well, I could put my phone down.
That's a start. Yeah, that's a
and
start.
I know for us, gosh, especially lately, we're in this season that we have got to be looking in each other's eyes and when we have a conversation. Otherwise, we just miss it. And I think both of us are losing our hearing, so we're totally missing.
Yeah, I feel so much off the hook and so much better that I'm not the only one that misunderstands what you're trying to say. I mean, you say one thing, it's like, I heard you say that, and it's like
what?
Not even close.
And the idea, I think, is not to get defensive about it, to laugh about it and say, okay, wait a minute, I really do want to hear what you're saying. Could you just say that again? But I find it's frustrating, isn't it?
Yeah, it kind of ticks me off sometimes. Like, I'm speaking clearly. Why are you not understanding what I'm saying?
So we're not perfect by any means, and it's just a common struggle I think everybody has, especially when we're moving so fast.
Yeah.
I mean, we're just running, especially if you have kiddos still at home and you're running from sports or you're working long hours or whatever. It's really easy to miss each other's heart.
Yeah,
so
you want to stay intentional. That's what I really liked about that one email back from that one attendee, was to really be intentional about their relationship. And it was really sweet because they are a dating couple, and it was really almost tempting to kind of go into some material after the session with this couple specifically, because in their case, he's got 3 kids, she's got none, and so she's going to potentially become an instant mom. And I looked at her and kind of went, oh boy, you know what? Because they were kind of saying, hey, can we do some counseling with you guys? I was like, absolutely. And I wanted to say, because in reality, you're headed into one of the toughest, you're headed into one of the toughest combinations of step family world. So it was just really sweet that they were there, and how encouraging it was, just the fact that they got back and said, that they really need to be
Well,
intentional.
and there was another couple there that was dating that came, which I just love it, that people are really investing in their relationship. In fact, even before the event started.
Yeah, I told them to run. Go
Yeah.
the other way. Go. No, don't do it.
No, even before we started getting stuff set up, there was a couple that couldn't come to the event, and they're dating, and they looked at the flyer we had, said, hey, are you guys doing this? And we had a great conversation with them. So anyway, I just...
Oh yeah, right
it
when
just
we were in the coffee shop. That was right.
it
That was
just
really cool.
warms my heart when I see people actively looking to improve their relationship.
Yeah.
So I just, Is that a new love language maybe for me? I don't know.
Explain that.
I don't know.
Could you tell me that again? I totally missed what you said.
I feel so excited. Maybe it's not love, like when I see and hear people investing in their marriage.
Yeah.
There's so much marriage stuff out there. There's much more that we have to offer out there that it's like whatever you can connect with,
Do it.
to have conversation about it.
Yeah.
So
Well, your lips are freezing,
I
and so
know.
are mine. It looks sunny behind us, but it's actually
It's
pretty
cold.
nippy. So,
yeah.
to all of you, batten down the hatches for the next couple of weeks. Wash your hands, blow your nose. Do what you're supposed to do. Take care of yourselves, really,
Yeah,
seriously.
yeah.
And we do pray for our nation and our leaders, and we do pray for the medical people who are trying to take care of a national situation. And Lord, give us all wisdom and favor, but let the virus blow over quickly, we trust. And with that, we just have to say thanks for listening in. And if you ain't got the marriage,
You ain't got nothing.
yeah, we talk about that on one of the podcasts too. So listen in.
Listen in. We'll be launching a few more coming up the next several weeks.
All right, take care, everyone.
Bye.